So the problem that I'm trying to point out is that with this, if I were to plug a number in and take the absolute value, the way I would read this is I just want this to be smaller than 4. But we already said absolute values can't be a negative number. And negative numbers are smaller than 4. So there's a conflict here. There's an issue that we're going to come across. That's going to change the way that the graph looks at the end, and it's going to change the type of solution that we end up putting at the end. So for this one, when I go to solve this, x minus 9, there is nothing outside the absolute value, so we're going to split this right away. I'm going to solve x minus 9 is less than 4, positive 4. I'm also, and I can do this because I got rid of the absolute values here, I split it so there are no absolute values, so I can use negative 4, but when I went from positive to negative, I have to flip the symbol. So I'm going to solve both of these inequalities. X minus 9 is less than 4. I'm going to add 9 to both sides. So x is less than 13. X minus 9 is greater than negative 4. If I add 9 to this one, I get x is greater than positive 5. And again, as I mentioned in the last example, you have to stop and think about what you're graphing before you create this graph. If I set up a number line, here's 0, there's 5, there's 13. This is not underlined, neither is that, so these will both be empty circles. If it's supposed to be less than 13, this should point to the left. If it's supposed to be greater than 5, this is supposed to point to the right. But if I do that, if this points left and this points right, they're going to overlap. The question now, should I just connect them? Or is this going to go all the way through it and that go all the way through there and become all real numbers? And it's not clear. You're going to need to test some of these. It should be very clear that the numbers in between do work. No matter which option I choose, just connect them or overlap, the numbers in the middle will work. That's not the part we need to check. But we do need to check numbers bigger than 13. We do need to check numbers smaller than 5 to see if it is or is not going to continue in that direction. So the next number past 5 that I would test would be 4. Let's just try some whole numbers. If I plug in a 4, what is 4 minus 9? It's going to be negative 5. What is the square root? I'm sorry, not square root. What is the absolute value of negative 5? Is 5 less than 4? It didn't work. Do not continue past the 5. Let's try something on the other side of 13 and see if that works. So 14. What is 14 minus 9? It's 5. What's the absolute value of 5? Is that smaller than 4? No, so we cannot continue past that. So for this, we are just going to connect them. You have to test the numbers on either side to find out if you are continuing or stopping after you connect.